Thank you for your interest in DataTrim Dupe Alerts. In this short video, I'm going to show you how the DataTrim Dupe Alert application integrates into the JobScience Org and how you, by means of this fully integrated solution, can dedupe data already existing in your database, dedupe data which enter your system through imports, web forms or other integrations, and how the solution will catch duplicates as users are entering new records or adding resumes using the Jobscience Staffing tools. The DataTrim Dupe Alert application is 100% integrated into the JobScience solution, which means that there's nothing to install locally, and so it's completely independent on whether you're a Mac user or PC user. First, I'll show you the admin part. For admins and other people who will be setting up the deduplication and from a central point will review and merge the data in a structured process, the application is available from this drop-down list in the top right corner of your JobScience Org. Once you're in the application, you'll see that the application mainly consists of 3 tabs. The DataTrim Dupe Alert tab is the main tab from where the setup is managed. You create a deduplication process by creating a record in this table, just like you create records in other parts of the JobScience solution. You can create alerts for accounts, contacts, leads, but also match leads against contacts and leads against accounts. Our system has built-in functionality for scheduling the deduplication to run automatically on a daily, weekly or monthly basis based on your needs. But you can of course also at any time run the deduplication as a single-time deduplication, as an example in relation to import or simply because you want to resolve duplicates right away by using the run value once. If we as an example look at this alert for candidates, you'd see that the setup is very simple. In fact, all you need to do is to choose what, when and how, and our solution will take care of the rest. You choose as an example what type of records you want to process, the match level, and then you activate the alert and set the time for it to run. With these few settings, the deduplication will run. There's no need to think about fuzzy logic, numeric matching algorithms, etc. We have already built all of this into the solution, so you do not have to be a professor in mathematical and logical matching algorithms in order to use our solution. But you might want to be a little bit more sophisticated than just running big deduplications on all records in big batches. So we of course also have the option for you to filter the records which is being matched. As an example for this alert, I have selected records where the associated account's name is candidate in order to limit the deduplication to the candidate records which I have in the contact table. I can also filter on record owner, record type, territory or other segmentation data like data source, etc. and even identify records linked to a specific campaign. And should you need to go even further, we also have this field, advanced parameters, which we refer to as the backdoor to our matching engine, and by adding parameters here we can make the engine behave in different specific ways. Here as an example, I tell the system to consider records as a contact-only record, ignoring the account part of the traditional account-contact relationship. To learn more about the different parameters and how they work in detail, please have a look at the description and examples in our user guide. Once the alert is active and the matching is completed, our solution will insert a new record into the DataTrim Dupe Alert Result tab. This tab works as a log, where you will find information about each deduplication performed, with information about how many records that were matched and how many potential duplicates that were found. This information is purely static and is mainly here for reporting purposes, and you can, as an example, create dashboard components based on this data to monitor how the quality of your data progress over time, etc. The last tab, DataTrim Match Records, is the most important tab because this is the tab where the outcome from the matching is stored and presented to you using list views. So the idea is that once the deduplication is complete, you or whoever is reviewing and merging records, and remember that this may not be limited to one person only, will go to this tab and by means of the list views perform a structured review of the matched records. If as an example I take this view, which will show me the outcome from the alert called candidates, I'll get a list of records where each record represents 2 contacts that are potential duplicates. Now I can start the reviewing and merging process. The match level is here represented as a match class, a sort of confidence indicator which in a 5-step classification indicates how confident our system is of claiming that the two records are dupes. You can of course use this classification to prioritize the review process and make sure that you're removing the most obvious records first. But you can also combine this with the individual scores for each field being compared, and even take into consideration whether two records in the pair is being owned by the same user or by two different users. I'll use the views to reduce the list of records to process. So what I've done is to create a separate view here where I limit the list to those records where the email score is 100. And I have a shorter and more manageable list, and I can start the merging. To merge records, I have multiple options. The first is to use the review wizard. So I select my records and open the review wizard. The review wizard is a way to combine the list of selected records with a view where we actually can see all the details for the two records. By selecting the records one by one in the list, I can go through the list and merge the records pair by pair. With the native merge wizard, I have the option to select field by field the values I want to keep, and when I click merge, I merge the two records into one based on my selections, and most importantly, the data which is related to the dupe record, the record that's going to go away, will be relinked to the surviving record, so none of the related data records are lost. I can also utilize the quick merge feature. This is the DataTrim merge wizard. In this view, we also display the related data and so allow you to use this data to determine which of the records to keep and which to delete. You even have the possibility to edit the records before you merge, so you can ensure that you're keeping the most valuable information. Once you merge, and as an example keep the record on the left, you'll see the resulting record with all the merged data relinked below. If you're processing large volume of records, either as an initial deduplication or as a result of an import, you might want to take advantage of the mass merge function in order to speed up the merging process. If I go back to my list of candidates and select all the records, I can now launch the mass merge. The confirmation screen allows me to merge all the records with a single click, only selecting which record I prefer as the priority record during the merge. The mass merge will, like the previous merge, also move across all related data like activities, attachment, opportunities, etc. So this data is not lost. But with this process, you don't see all the details on the individual record, and so there is, of course, a risk that you'll be dropping valuable information from, as an example, the phone, email, or note fields on the dupe record. To compensate for this, we have some extra settings which allows you to store this extra information either as an activity, a note, or into a text area field on the individual record. Let me quickly show you what this may look like. So here I have Christine Bouvier, a contact, and on top of the screen I of course have the result of the merge field by field. But down below in the activity history section I have a new record indicating that this record recently was merged. And if I go into this history record, I can see those fields, and only those fields where the two records had different values, standard fields and custom fields included. Now this was a quick overview of the application from a centralized point of view. If we now turn around and look at it from the end user point of view, there are more interesting functionality to explore. I'll now, from the recruitment app and as an end user, go and follow up on a contact called Jim Carey. As the information from the matching is stored inside your JobScience Org, we have the possibility to make this information available in other parts of the application. And what you will see here is a notification to the end user that this contact has been found as a potential duplicate of another contact. With this information at hand, the end user can now participate in the cleaning of the database and merge the two records by clicking directly on the merge link. The dupe status will present itself on each individual record. But by means of a custom link like this, each individual user will at any time be able to see their dupes, and by means of the review wizard merge the records and thereby improve the quality of the data in the system on a day-to-day basis. Both of these functions are of course relying on that the deduplication has been processed and the duplicate has been found and stored as pairs in the DataTrim match record, and so there is one function left to demonstrate: detecting duplicates upon entry. Imagine that I want to create a new contact. Then I would click on the New button in the Contact tab, and similar for new leads and new accounts, and enter the information for the new contact. When I click Save, the integrated Dupe Alert functionality will compare this record against existing records, and as you see, immediately indicate to me that this record is a potential dupe of another record in the system. And before I proceed, I will of course merge the two records, making sure I have a full picture of this individual in the database. And this is where the integration with JobScience closes the loop. Because yes, you may use the New button to add new records, but you may of course also use the staffing tools to add new record, and as an example use this link to add a resume. I'll add the resume of Douglas using the JobScience import functionality. And just like before, as soon as I save, I'm told that this record is a potential duplicate of another record already in the system. I'll of course check, and when I'm confident that this is the same guy, I'll merge the two records and continue my work. Thank you for watching this brief demo. I hope it was useful and that you got an understanding of how the solution can dedupe data already existing in your database. Dedupe data which enter your system through imports, web forms or other integrations, and how the solution will catch duplicates as the users are entering new records or adding resumes using the JobScience Staffing tools. Thank you for your time, and don't hesitate to contact us for more information or any question you may have regarding functionality or price.